here today with my daily pages that I house in my Chick Sparrow cover, along with my Hobonichi Techo cousin. But my daily pages are in the book by Galen Leather, which has Tomoe River paper in it, which I really love. And I have a couple pages in here somewhere that I need to catch up on. So I'm going to find those, and then I'm going to take you along as I try to do a kind of a block style page layout. So I'm here on the 9th and 10th, and I do have my little sticky notes. I try to always do those if I'm going to miss journaling on a day, so that I can remember what happened, and that's so helpful. So I'm just going to go ahead and slip my book out of my cover so that I don't, because I am such a messy worker, don't want to get paint or anything on there. And the page is laying on the table already. I should have put away, but I didn't. But those are a little sneak peek of some prototypes for my September patrons. And I'd been using those earlier and just didn't get them put away. So I'm pulling out my day sheets now, and I already have these partway decorated a little bit on there. They're from my current and past patron sheets, with the exception of the little Tuesday in the bottom right corner, which I believe is Love Lynn's Life. And so I'm sticking my Monday on there, and then I'm going to start making blocks utilizing kind of fitting what's already on the page into those blocks as well. I'm pulling out my straight edges to help me make the little blocks. I have this little metal template card that I got off of Amazon, and I'm not sure who makes it, but it's been really handy. And then I also have just a simple little 6-inch ruler. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn what's already in there into blocks and incorporate blocks. So I'm creating a block around this whole bottom section. On the 10th will be a block, and then I'll do the same on the left side of the page for the 9th. And it doesn't matter what size or shape you make these blocks. In fact, it looks better if you have a little variety in them. So whatever you have is just fine. However many blocks you make on the page is just fine. So I'm kind of getting an idea here of some things that I might want to have on my pages, and that'll help determine how to draw the block. So I'm just kind of trying out some different things here. Here I decide to make a block that will have kind of a some lettering in for this side of the page, and I like doing this on a catch-up page because it just kind of simplifies the whole process. You can fill the blocks in with words, or you can fill them in with stickers or images or drawings, whatever works for you. I'm drawing in some shapes here, which are I'm just kind of making random sizes that I think will work for what I want to put in there. I'm referring to my little sticky note of what all I want to include for the day. And I'm just making some blocks that fit together, sort of like puzzle pieces. And it's actually kind of fun to do. I'm working out what else needs to go on the page. And I took one of my old Monster printables and used it, cut off the feet so it fit on there, and that's kind of an expression that fit that day. And now I'm doing just some real simple sketches to represent some things that I did that day or that happened that day, doing a little bit more lettering, just filling up that space with my blocks. So there you can see I've drawn in all the blocks for the day. Doing another little sketch in one of the blocks. So it just kind of, each block kind of defines something about the day, either an event or a description or something that represents. I'm taking my micron pen now and going back and drawing in those blocks. Now if you notice the banner that says just do it from one of my printables, I'm just letting it kind of float outside of the box. So it doesn't have a box like everything else. I'm just letting it be kind of outside the box, and that's okay too. Okay, I cut that little paintbrush off from one of my printables to fit in a block. I end up not using it, but I'm letting it try out. I kind of like it there. I think I'll save it and do something similar on another page. And now I'm going into those blocks and adding watercolor, and this is what really helps them define them as a space. And I'm using different colors just to kind of get a balanced composition here. I'm painting around my sketches because I will be painting those as well, so I'm just getting like the background in all of the blocks painted. Even the simplest little sketches can look nice in this kind of approach, and that's one thing I really like about these daily pages, is just getting a little practice in, a little exercise of those art muscles, if you will. Okay, I put some to do today stickers in one of the small boxes, and stickers are another great option for filling up these boxes. You can just trim the edges so that they fit so they look like they're cropped by the box. Now that I'm getting all those boxes filled in, painted in, at least the background part on that page, while that dries, I'm going to move over to the other side of the spread. I have the sticker that I want to use, and so I'm making a box to fit it. And then I'll go ahead and start filling in the boxes I have on that page as well. I'm taking my cue from the left side of the spread and choosing my colors, in kind of a complementary way to what's over there. So I'm using the same colors, and I'm choosing a placement where they kind of balance out each other. So I had yellow on the top left on the left side, and so I used yellow on the bottom right on the right side. So just makes a little more pleasing to the eye if you kind of balance your colors that way. I'm pulling out my Tombow markers to do some of the detail work, and I love using these sort of as watercolors, or the way they blend together. Here I used a dark gray and a lighter gray together. I'm also using those for my potatoes down in my supper illustration. And I'm coloring in the letters that I left blank with the Tombow marker as well. Things that are like small or kind of finer work, I just find easy to do with the Tombow. and they work well with watercolor. You can mix it with watercolor, you can use them as watercolors, so they're very versatile pens, and I reach for those quite a bit. So now I'm using a sticker, as I said, and cutting it to fit in a box, so it looks like, you know, the box is actually cropping the sticker. And part of the reason I'm doing this whole box thing on these catch-up days is because I don't necessarily remember I didn't have a whole lot to journal, which is probably why I hadn't really done them to start with. So this is a good way to kind of fill space without it being obvious that, you know, your page is just sort of blank. I ended up putting little journaling lines over in that pink box to the left where I was going to put a paintbrush. Decided I needed a place to do a little bit of writing. I'm going to do a similar block on the right side of the spread as well to kind of balance out. So I just always have to write at least a little bit. You don't need to. I could have filled these all with pictures and it'd be just fine, but I always feel the need to do a little bit of writing, a little bit of journaling about my day. So I almost have the pages filled in here, just a little bit of detail drawing and painting left. To really set those blocks off, I'm going back over them with a micron pen and outlining them. And I'm not worried about being especially neat. I'm not using a ruler. My lines are not perfectly straight, and I'm just using the watercolor blocks as kind of a guide for that. But I just think that micron pen adds the finishing touch to the whole thing. Pen work and adjusting on that last little illustration that's left there, and getting it. We had leftovers that night, and I made this little thing, which it's not drawn very well, but I think the idea could be made into a cute sticker or something maybe in the future. I'm using a bit of water here to bleed that Tombow pen that I used for my red potatoes, and then continuing with the micron to add detailing. There's a little bit of empty space at the bottom of this block, so I'm just adding some pattern to these and coloring those in so that they kind of balance each other again. I have it happening on the left page and on the right page. I had to switch pens because sometimes those micron pens do not work all that well on top of watercolor, so I had to get a different pen here. I end up using a Sharpie fine point pen. And just finishing up some journaling here. As you notice, I don't have a whole lot of journaling on either of these pages. And then I had a couple blank places, so I'm just doing a simple little drawn leaf design, just as kind of filler. It could be anything. And drawn some more down here at the bottom to kind of carry it through the page. And that finishes up. And here I have my finished pages. Finally moved those sheets out of the way so you can take a look at the finished product. Thanks for watching. Hope you come again.